Will the newest Eternal truly transform the meta of the game? Find out what's going on as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a new card this week, and that is Sersi. Sersi is the Prime Eternal and the current leader of the group. She is not one of the main fighters, and while the more combat-oriented Eternals focus on subduing threats, she became more interested in the natives. She would mingle with them to learn their customs and languages so she could talk with them. She would also help them out in other ways, like using her powers to irrigate their lands. She truly admires the beauty of this earth and all the humans on it. Sersi has been involved with numerous historical events throughout the millennia. She is most known for the time she encountered the Greek hero Odysseus during his journey home, where she turned the hero and all his companions into pigs when they attempted to inflict harm on her. But she was still kind-hearted in the end. After they had lived on her island for 1 year, she felt they had been punished enough and they were allowed to leave as men once more. Sersi is intelligent, kind-hearted, and a dancer with literally eons of experience to her name. She has a great love for humans ever since the day she arrived. She will often use her powers to protect them and help them advance. She has taken time to mingle with them and understand their ways. She has a positive and highly consoling demeanor, though she tends to be low-key in her interactions with others. Sersi in the present day is addicted to smartphones and will often be seen fidgeting with one of the gadgets. She has decided to try to lead as normal a life as she can while being a hero, and thus has a struggling career as a party planner. But do not feel bad for her, as whenever she is low on funds, she will turn a pile of trash into gold and use some of it to pay for her loft and continue her party planning dreams. Sersi may not be known as a fighter, but she still has the conventional superhuman powers of an Eternal, such as regenerative healing factor, flight, strength, speed, stamina, durability, agility, and reflexes. But unlike the others, she also has an ability of matter transmutation. She has the ability to change any item or being into whatever she wishes with barely any thought or effort, only needing to wave a finger or two at most. Sersi's powers can rearrange matter on the atomic level, with a skill that other Eternals recognize as unparalleled. She will use this power to help others advance when she can. This is represented in Marvel Snap by the fact that when she comes in to help, she will take all the other cards at her location and transform them into ones with more advanced powers. In Marvel Snap, she is a 5 cost, 7 power with the description of on reveal. She transforms all the cards at her location that are friendly into cards that cost 1 more, if able. So she kind of falls into the 3-star range. That's the range I gave her for her star rating. And here's part of the reason why. So we're going to talk about some of the things in her. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to play her in stuff where you get stuff like the hood, or possibly where you have stuff like Sentry and you get the demon out, the void. So, and basically what you do is you play her on the hood or you play her on the Sentry and you change them to stuff that's more powerful. Other than that, you're basically trying to play like a Mr. Negative and then make Mr. Negative bigger. Now, you can compare her to basically being like a Legion in her power, because she's the same cost, same power as Legion, and kind of has the same restrictions as Legion, that you got to be careful of how and when you play her. but I think more than anything else, you kind of got to look at her, believe it or not, like a, where are you? Scarlet Witch. Where Scarlet Witch is going to win you some games, and it's going to lose you some games. There's going to be games where where Sersi comes out and she just automatically wins you the game when she's played down, and there's going to be games where it completely loses you the game. You're basically looking at stuff that makes sense, like the Korg, and the Cable, and even like the Leech. Because 4s turning into 5s are super strong, as the only bad 5s really out there would be stuff like MODOK. At this current moment, the current highest that she can go is 6, but at the end of this month, there will be a 7 cost card that she can transform into. So let's just take a quick look at some of the bad things that you can get off of this, and then we'll talk about the final card that makes me really scared about this card. So if somehow you can transform into a 1, maybe off of a rock, or maybe off of like a Widow's Bite or a Widow's Kiss, the 2 worst things that you can pretty much end up with would either be the Hood or maybe Myrna. Other than that, there's not a lot bad on 1. On 2, you're basically looking at the Dagger and maybe Carnage. I think, if I remember correctly, Havoc might fall here too. Let me look at this real quick. Let me see where Havoc falls in. Yeah, Havoc would be your other worst option. So those are your 2 that are bad at 2. At 3, you're basically looking at Moon Knight. And at 4, you're basically looking at Hellcow and a Tuma. Those are your 2 worst 4s. Your 2 worst 5s would probably be Adam Warlock and MODOK. And your 2 worst 6s would be APOC and your Destroyer. Now, the card that really makes this scary in both ways is Electro. Because turning into an Electro, going from 2 to 3 and getting an Electro is going to make you a sad, sad person. But playing down an Electro and then playing the Sersi right on top of the Electro to change it is going to make you really happy. There's not many 4s that are bad. And just getting rid of the Electro in general is good. That's what makes Blink really powerful and really good. This is basically a Blink 2, if you want to think about it to a certain degree. Now, you don't get the reliability of Blink, because it's going to be random, but sometimes you just don't care, and you might even run Blink alongside with Sersi as kind of a backup if you have the flex slot. This card really makes me want to give it a higher rating than a 3, because making the Electro disappear at all, no matter how you do it, is almost worth it. Problem is the Electro can turn into an Atuma, which is where it kind of gets a fault in it. And usually when you're doing the Blink shenanigans, you have your 5 set up and your 4 set up, so it can't turn into anything bad. That you know what you're getting. Other than that, in this week, we've got Meek. Meek is a card that has a place. I promise it does. But finding that place is really hard. Even in the discard deck, it's starting to lose footing. So it's really hard to want to play Meek, to need to play Meek, to have Meek. Other than that, we have the Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force is a deck upon itself. If you're playing a Phoenix Force deck, you're playing a Phoenix Force deck. You are not playing any other deck than a Phoenix Force deck. The people who know how to play Phoenix Force make it seem like it's magic, and anybody else makes it seem like it's impossible. Interesting side note on this particular week, just in case anybody cares. For the first time ever, I believe, not only do I own the main card, I actually own a variant for the Phoenix Force. That's how many times I've gotten the Phoenix Force showing through my world. So, it's a good chance you might have it already. I pretty much don't think there's any card in here that you need to get. The Sersi, if you already have Blink, you might be better off just holding off on Sersi and keeping the Blink going on. I'm not sure if the two can work together in the same deck, or if it's too much of a good thing, too much of a bad thing. Meek really doesn't have footing at this point, and Phoenix Force, if you wanted to play Phoenix Force, if you cared to play Phoenix Force, you bought Phoenix Force already, or you got Phoenix Force already. I would not recommend going out of my way to make a Phoenix Force deck, but if you have it and you like playing it, go for it. I, however, will be rolling because I always do for content. So let's find out what's in the box. Obsidian. I don't know if I've ever done a thing with Obsidian before. I will double check. If I have, I will do something else. If not, I will do Obsidian. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.